Welcome to Real Recap. Make sure to subscribe as we jump right in. Nancy arrives at her hotel room, visibly tense and unsure of herself. She takes a moment to steady her nerves, checking her appearance in the mirror when there's a knock at the door. Gathering her courage, she opens it to find Leo Grande, a charming young man who's the source of her anxiety. Leo greets her with a light kiss on the cheek and compliments her captivating perfume. Nancy, flattered but modest, mentions that women her age rarely receive such attention. Leo reassures her they're in for a memorable time and casually asks for a drink to kick things off. Raising his glass, he toasts to timeless beauty, subtly complimenting Nancy as he takes a sip. Though they attempt light conversation, Nancy finds herself increasingly distracted, her focus slipping as she's captivated by Leo's undeniable charm. Suddenly, Nancy asks if he ever feels disrespected or looked down upon by her actions. Leo reassures her, explaining that he's here entirely by choice, that he truly enjoys his work and has never felt diminished. Gently, he asks what Nancy would like from the evening. Nancy admits she simply wants to be with him, though she worries her age might fall short of his expectations. Sensing her unease, Leo gives her a soft kiss, easing her fears. With the tension building, Nancy suggests they move things forward. Leo insists there's no need to rush, encouraging them to take their time and connect. He hints at his knack for surprising people, which Nancy misinterprets, reacting with disgust. Leo quickly clarifies, explaining he meant his talent for good conversation. Nancy, feeling uneasy, admits she's never paid anyone before. Leo reassures her, explaining that his work is a choice, with set fees that clients agree to, making it clear he isn't being exploited. Despite Leo's reassurances, Nancy's fear of disappointing him lingers, especially since she's never experienced an orgasm and doubts it's possible at her age, while Leo remains optimistic. She shares that since losing her husband 2 years ago, she hasn't been with anyone, making Leo only her second partner. With no real expectations, she even offers Leo half the fee to leave if he wants. Leo declines. Leo reassures her once again, suggesting they go to bed. He gives her a comforting kiss on the neck, easing her tension. Nancy then pauses and mentions she could bring some legal blue pills. Leo assures her he doesn't need them. Nancy persists, telling him not to feel obligated to be with someone he doesn't like. Leo replies that there's always something good to appreciate. Learning that Leo's oldest client was 82, Nancy feels a bit more at ease and asks how she can please him. Leo compliments her lips and neckline, trying to calm her nerves. As he moves in for a kiss, Nancy quickly excuses herself to the bathroom to change. While she's away, Leo gets ready, and Nancy's anxiety is clear. He sips his drink and enjoys a chocolate bar while waiting. Eventually, Nancy gathers the courage to change. Leo admires her beauty and leans in for a kiss, but Nancy pulls back, commenting on the smell of chocolate. After Leo freshens up, Nancy decides not to continue, offering to pay the full amount and asking him to leave. Realizing it's not the chocolate, Leo convinces her to rethink, especially after her long hesitation, and she finally agrees. Nancy asks Leo about his mother's view on his work, but he hesitates to answer. When she insists, Leo makes up a story about working on an oil platform, which makes Nancy laugh. She then opens up about the dullness of her children's lives and the repetitiveness of her teaching job, losing track of their original reason for being there. The conversation slows down, and Leo asks Nancy how her husband behaves in similar situations. Nancy shares that her husband would simply go to bed naked, and for 31 years, their relationship has been routine with no experimentation, ending with him quickly falling asleep. Leo is surprised by her words and looks at her with sympathy. Nancy reveals that she's always had different desires, but her husband rejected them as inappropriate. With tears in her eyes, she recalls a trip to Turkey in her youth, where she met a captivating young man, and his touch was the most exciting experience she ever had. The next day, Nancy had to return home, and the regret of not staying longer in Turkey has lingered with her. Leo kisses her deeply, creating an unforgettable night. A few days later, they meet again in the same room. Leo shares his joy at having pleased Nancy during their previous encounter. After learning about various experiences she had missed, Nancy is eager to try them with Leo, asking for repeats and more adventurous activities. Leo reassures her that it's all possible, though he's surprised by her ambition to do everything in a single day. Leo promises to give his best, and they begin with the most challenging task on her list. Nancy wonders if she should brush her teeth first, but Leo reassures her it's not needed. The phone rings, and after Nancy talks to her daughter, she returns, visibly tense. Leo encourages her to relax and enjoy the moment, suggesting they dance. Leo massages her, and she asks him to remove his shirt. His youthful, fit body captivates her, but feeling overwhelmed, she asks him to put it back on. She confesses her insecurities, but Leo reassures her of her beauty. He suggests a role-playing scenario, which unexpectedly disturbs her. Nancy quickly insists that Leo complete his task. Feeling hurt, Leo shifts from being conversational to professional. Nancy breaks down, feeling humiliated. Leo gently suggests that perhaps his role is more for companionship, understanding that everyone has different needs. He reassures her, stressing that he maintains a non-judgmental attitude toward his clients, as long as they show respect. He shares stories of past clients, which helps Nancy gain confidence. In their third session, she feels more at ease, like bathing in warmth, returning more relaxed and self-assured. She humorously mimics her husband's behavior, making Leo laugh. Nancy praises Leo, thanking him for helping her check off her list, and promises to recommend him to her friends. Leo humbly claims he's just doing his job. Nancy, eager to know more about him, asks for his true identity. Reluctantly, Leo reveals his name is Leo Grande. Nancy surprises Leo by admitting that she has researched his background and knows his real identity. Feeling betrayed, Leo quickly dresses and warns her never to contact him again. Shocked by his reaction, Nancy realizes she crossed a line and should have respected his boundaries. When Nancy accidentally uses his real name, Leo becomes furious. He retorts that exposing her true identity wouldn't be wise, particularly for a former religious teacher found in a hotel with a younger man. Nancy defends her actions, insisting she thought they were building trust and could be friends beyond their arrangement. Leo, revealing his own struggles and describing himself as a mere shell for his mother, storms out. However, he returns shortly after, searching frantically for his forgotten phone. Upon finding it, he reassures Nancy that she'll receive a refund for the unused time, gives her a quick kiss, and leaves. Nancy, devastated, can only watch him go. A few days later, Nancy is seen sitting in the hotel's cafe, visibly anxious as she tells the staff she's waiting for a friend. One employee who doesn't immediately recognize her turns out to be one of her former students. When Nancy remarks, "I must not have trained you well if you're working here," the girl is taken aback. At that moment, Leo walks in. Seeing her teacher with such a young, attractive man raises the girl's suspicions. Leo quickly handles the situation, explaining they are meeting to discuss purchasing Nancy's car. Despite what happened during their last encounter, Leo had agreed to meet Nancy just for a conversation. Nancy shares how the past month has made her feel more alive, experiencing everything she missed out on when she was younger. Nancy shares that she recommends Leo Grande, known as the Master of Menopause, to all her friends and reveals his real name is Susan Robinson. Leo, in return, admits he finally told his brother the truth about his profession. While his brother didn't judge him, it remains a disappointment to their mother. When Leo was 15, his mother caught him in a compromising situation with friends, which altered her perception of him forever. Time has not healed this rift. Becky arrives with the bill, and Nancy apologizes for previously insulting her and others, acknowledging their regular interactions with Leo. She even alludes to Leo's impressive abilities, suggesting he spend time with Becky as well. Becky, stunned by what she hears, decides to join Nancy and Leo in the room. Together they spend an unforgettable night, checking off all the experiences Nancy had longed for. By morning, Nancy feels a sense of true fulfillment like never before. This marks their final meeting, and they part ways, each wishing the other well. Nancy reflects quietly in the mirror, lost in peaceful thoughts. And with that, the story comes to an end. If you enjoyed the recap, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.